The Metro on 101.9 WDET-FM. I'm Tia Graham. Now, the growth of Detroit and its population cannot be denied. It's something that we all notice no matter what. People are talking about and flocking to the city of Detroit. When folks make it to town, you hear about the amazing food scene or even our fashion. For sure, people are talking about the beautiful murals that line streetscapes and alleyways. Music is foundational here in the city of Detroit, from Motown to techno. Yet, why has it been so difficult for so many inspiring and creative Detroiters to earn a living for their work in the city they were raised? Entering the chat is Kwaku Osei, Executive Director of the Love Building. He and a team of passionate people have come together to create a platform to uplift and highlight Detroit's finest. Once a month, the Love Building hosts Love at Night, and recently they've added a twist. A new project titled Container wants Detroit's favorite local artists, musicians, chefs, and designers to come together and create new, interesting avenues to succeed in the city. WDET is a partner of this project, hosting the podcast series for Container. The goal is to retain talent in the city while giving them the tools and space to grow. This week, the Love Building will host its Love at Night Container Takeover to showcase the 12 artists the project will highlight this go-around. The event will be a part of the closing festivities for the Global Citizen Detroit Conference. It's happening this week in the city, and Kwaku is here to talk a little bit more about the Love Building involvement and, as well, what's happening at Spirit Plaza this week. Welcome to the Metro. Welcome back.
Hey Tia.
Welcome back.
It's always an honor and privilege to be here, by the way.
Yay, and thank you for doing all the great things with the Love Building. But speaking of, talk about what's happening at Spirit Plaza this week.
Yeah. So this is, let me just maybe do a quick run back, right? So over the last 3 months, we've been doing these container takeovers to launch that program formally. And to the point that you made, right, we started this program because Detroit is a cultural capital on the global stage, right? And yet oft repeated frustration among some of our most talented is they feel they don't get enough love and support to the extent that they feel they need to leave, go to New York, go to LA in order to make it. We wanted to shift that entirely, and we're so thankful that WDT felt the same, felt the tension that existed, that disconnect. And so in any event, then we created this program. And over the last 3 months at the Love Building, we've been hosting our Love at Night series, which has just been so well received by the community. It's brought out over 300 people, every single one of them. And each one of those, we have released 4 of the participants, the residents of this program. What's special about this Thursday is that this is the first one that's not going to be at the Love Building. It's going to be at Spirit Plaza, which is 2 Woodward Avenue, right next to the Spirit of Detroit statue. So not Hart Plaza, no shade to Hart Plaza, but it is Spirit Plaza right next to the Spirit of Detroit statue. And in any event, this is our first Love at Night series that's not at the building, but there. Amazing. And what's especially special about this one is this is going to be where all 12 residents of this cohort come together to just put on a magical display of the cultural significance that Detroit holds across art, fashion, food, and music. And then what's made this even increasingly more special is the Global Citizen Edition. And by the way, I'll just huge shout out to the Global Citizen team. Simon, who would have been here if he could, Simon Moss, that is, but also want to give a huge shout out. They have a couple of M&Ms on their team, not to be confused with our M&M here in Detroit, 8 Mile.
I was about to say, wait, Marshall? No.
No, but there's a beautiful gentleman named Mark, a beautiful gentleman named Matthew. And I'm just, we got together with them June 20th. And when we connected, we had shot them some messaging, so on and so forth. And when we connected that Friday, fast forward, this Thursday, we're doing something magnificent. And given the robustness of what we came up with and what needed to happen, I think most large organizations would have shied away and said, you know what, we're cutting it close. They did not. They just said, we get it. We love what you guys are doing. Let's make this thing happen.
Which is an amazing thing to think about, having Container, the Love Building, the takeovers, all being represented in such a high space within the city of Detroit at Spirit Plaza, where so many people are walking around seeing it. So talk about, number one, connecting with Global Citizen and the importance it is to continue that message of what Container is trying to do, and that's highlight some of these amazing artists.
That's right. So what we love about Global Citizen is that, they leverage pop culture to shine a spotlight on global issues, right? And where we felt there was a major connection and alignment is we are essentially leveraging our culture as a catalyst, right? And as a way to engage, not only engage community, but uplift and empower community, especially for our talented that, again, have felt like they have not been able to have consistent enough opportunities to thrive here. And so in any event, what's awesome about this is the Global Citizen Group will bring out, they curate about a really an audience of about, I want to say, 400 to 500 global kind of leaders in their own respective fields and industry, whether that be in business. So, for instance, at this Global Citizen, the first one that they're doing in Detroit, by the way, they're going to have folks like Mark Cuban, Marcus Samuelson, Wyclef
I know.
of the Fugees. And we are very fortunate that there is going to be a special appearance by one of these great people. Hint, hint, maybe the last person I said that would be there.
We don't know. People just have to show up. We don't know.
At 5 p.m. because it's going to be really special. But we're just really excited that they got it. They got what we're doing. And really in the context of like being hyper local, but increasingly creating opportunities for our native creatives to get increasing local, regional, and even hopefully national, even global opportunities. This link added to, I think, our higher ambitions in that regard.
Right now, we're talking about Love at Night, the Container Takeover of Spirit Plaza this Thursday at Spirit Plaza, starting at 5 p.m. Our guest is Kwaku Osei, Executive Director of the Love Building in Detroit, and personally heading to, or being a part of this, actually. This is really, really cool. WDET is a partner, and I get to host the Container Podcast Series, which I'm really excited about. I've been able to connect with some of Detroit's most talented, interesting, dynamic individuals. And Kwaku, I do want to ask you about Container a little bit. What is Container? How did this idea come about? I mean, once again, we're uplifting and telling stories of Detroit's favorite artists.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So, I mean, I think I gave the kind of background, the problem that we're attempting to solve. In many ways, we see this becoming like the Detroit homecoming.
I love it.
For the creative class, right? And so in any event, in this first cohort, we're focused on really shining a spotlight on some of our top talent, homegrown talent across fashion, food, fine arts, and music. But, you know, at this upcoming Thursday, we're going to be making several announcements of things to come, including the opening for self-nominations for the next cohort of this. And there is just so much more ahead that, you know, I don't want to go into all the details here. But there's a lot that's going to happen Thursday, including I just want to give, I think there's shout-outs I have to give first and foremost,
yes,
right?
Of course.
Because even when it comes down to Spirit Plaza making itself available, that was Jackson from the Detroit's Parks and Rec. As it relates to some of the things that we're doing and ahead of this to kind of get everything prepared for the enormity of what we're going to do this Thursday from 5 to 9 p.m. Downtown Detroit Partnership got involved. Bedrock has very graciously offered 200 parking spots free of charge. You'll have to RSVP, which you could do on our website, thelovebuilding.org. In order to get that information. Just basically, like the richest thing about this is we have been able to demonstrate with this upcoming event how beautiful our ecosystem is, especially when we connect all the dots that already exist. And what we're really looking to do with the container program is all the infrastructure we need to really not only celebrate, but to honor the previous legacy all the way to modern is already here. It's just that there is a bunch of dots that have yet to be connected, but we're increasingly doing that work. And I think it's getting accelerated by events such as this. So we're really, really excited.
And Kwaku, because we're down here, but I have a few more questions for you, of course. But in your opinion, what is stopping Detroit's art and culture scene from getting to the next level? Do you think it is lack of connection and lack of networking?
Yeah, this is.
I know that's a lot.
I'll be very brief. I think we have everything we need.
Yeah,
it's just that it's we got everything here, and yet there is not so much that we could afford to be as disconnected as we have been. So we really need to just aggregate all that we have. And once we do that, and I'll just shout out the Detroit Breakfast Club of Fine Arts as a great example, right? Because that is a community that basically brought all of the folks together between art collectors, up-and-coming artists, established, et cetera, et cetera. They brought everyone together in the same room, and, you know, they meet every Monday, started by Henry Harper and Harold Braggs. In any event, That's what we need to do across our other pillars, our music scene, our fashion scene, our food scene. And so we believe that this program, amongst other things, because, there's great work being done by, for instance, the Fair Food Network. There's great work being done by a number of groups that are trying to do this. And we're just trying to plug in and just, again, be a beautiful facilitator and dot connector because there's so much going on and so many people are with the best of intentions trying to do phenomenal things. But when you're not even aware that someone across the street of you is doing something very similar, there isn't an opportunity to connect or collaborate. And we're just trying to fill that spot.
Yes, and this is the personal shout out for myself, but I've gone to all of the Love at Nights container takeovers, and I've been able to connect and network with people at every single event. So it's been rewarding for me, and I hope that other people can connect as well when they are at the Love at Night container takeover at Spirit Plaza.
Yeah, so this Thursday, if you get there at 5 p.m., you will you will not be disappointed with what you'll see. It's going to be a really, really, really grand thing. We put a lot of time, energy, and attention, and a lot of our heart. Really, not to be corny, but I'll be corny. We put a lot of love into this. And Tia's laughing. You guys can't see her, but nonetheless, we put a lot of love into this. And so when you get there, if you get there at 5 p.m., you'll get to see that on full display. And from 5 to 9, it's just going to be an absolutely beautiful time with performances by some of our top music, Bryce Detroit, Cecile, Bev Love. We got fashion by Nabila Najjar, Taylor Childs, and God and I, Ali.
God and I.
We're going to have lovely food, fried chicken and caviar, and Jermon Booz, who does vinyl tastings. And then finally, there's going to be art by Alante Davis, Donald Calloway, which were recent Kresge Eminent Award winners, as well as Ijana Cortez, who also won a recent award at Gilda. In any event.
All right.
See us Thursday.
Kwaku Osei, Executive Director of the Love Building in Detroit, the Love at Night Container Takeover at Spirit Plaza this Thursday at 5 p.m. We're really looking forward to it. WDET is a partner on, and I host a Container podcast. This is WDET FM, Detroit Public Radio, your connection to news, music, and conversation.